So we're going to start developing or creating the main scene now. It's pretty straightforward. I think I said in the intro, we're going to keep things nice and straightforward. The concentration is really building the levels. So we have a label here called Sogaban-ish, and then we have a grid container here with up to 30 levels that we can then select. Each of the buttons you see here are their own scene called a level button scene. When we create the main, what we're going to do is simply iterate through and instantiate one of these, giving it the text to represent its particular level. Then when we select this particular scene, it'll ask the game data then obviously to grab hold of that particular level data so we can build the level. So our first step though will be to build this interface here and then actually make these level buttons so we can lay them out on the screen. So I've got the IDE open and I've already opened up the main scene. And this will be pretty straightforward. Let's add a texture rect, which is going to be the background for us. We'll make that go full rect here. And inside the assets, where are we? I'm going to drag this grey PNG onto there. It doesn't look good, but you can go to the stretch mode on the right hand side and hit tile, and that tiles everything automatically for you. This is a control node. We're in UI here, so we don't need to do the tricks we did with the Sprite 2D when we did the water, I think, in the Angry Animals game. Next up, we can add a margin container to this. So add a margin, where are you? Margin container, change the name to MC. We want this to be full rect. And in the theme overrides, do 24 pixels of margin as well. Then inside there, we'll have a VBox container. So for the VBox container, I'll call this a VB, and this can then have a label. And the label can have the text Sogaban-ish, and we want to quick load our title. Now in here, we'll have that font issue because the resource IDs will be incorrect. It'll have used the file, which is probably what this yellow down here is. So let's just load this up. So we'll do quick load and load up the Lucky Sky regular, and also then save the resource. And this particular label needs to be horizontal alignment center and vertical alignment center as well. Then what I'd like to do is add a grid container as well. And this is going to be the level button. So I'll just call this level buttons. Probably grid is actually a good idea there as well. So level buttons grid. Now for the level buttons grid, you can see that we're filling the horizontal here because the container is, but we also want to fill the vertical as well. So on the right hand side, we're going to go to layout, container sizing and expand in the vertical. So we fill this whole area here. Now you might be wondering here why I've used a margin container and then the VBox container when I could also have just used a VBox container squashed in or centered in the middle of the UI. It's actually related to this grid here. I wanted to be able to set this grid to fill the horizontal. And that's going to have the effects of stretching the level buttons. So in here, you might notice the level buttons aren't perfectly square, yet the ones that we make are going to be square. We're actually going to set their layout properties to stretch in the horizontal, and therefore they'll fill the available space, and I wanted them to fill the whole screen. So that's why the layout has been set up with this particular structure here. Talking of which, that's actually our main more or less completed. What I will do is just click run here and make sure everything runs and we see something on the screen, which we do, which is good. So I'll close that down. With that done, what we can do then in the next lesson is actually turn our attention to actually building that level button.